Mr. Uwe asked me to talk about some of the things that Mr. Arasov and I deal with when it comes to academic integrity violations. And I'm going to talk about three things in particular that I've noticed that have come up. One is cell phones. Consistently, we see students who have been discovered using their cell phones inappropriately, either during an assessment or after an assessment when it's been discovered that they have been sharing information amongst one another. The best rule of thumb is to A, be very cognizant of what you send to another student and that your intellectual property is being utilized for the right reasons. And then, of course, during an assessment of any kind, to never have your phone even on your person so it can't be misinterpreted as to what you may have been doing on your phone. So using your phones, having your phones during a test is absolutely one of the biggest violations that we see. Another one is the sharing of homework. It may seem innocent, or a student may ask someone, hey, can I see what your response was to this homework information? And if you share that, regardless of what your intent is, or regardless of the intent of the individual receiving it, if it is misused and we deem it as in violation of academic integrity, regardless of the intent, it will go down as an academic integrity violation. So make sure that you're aware before you share information what that intellectual property will be used for. Third is plagiarism. Inevitably, students will research for their essays, they will find good information, and they will occasionally use that information word for word in their essays. There is nothing wrong with doing research. There's nothing wrong with citing all of your research. I always tell my students, the more citations you have in an essay, the more indicative it is of the research and effort you've put into the paper. So cite your sources, use them appropriately, and never take and utilize words, even if it's just 5% or 10% of a paper, even just one sentence. If you take someone else's work and play it off as your own, it will be interpreted as plagiarism. And the last thing I'll say is this. For every situation in which you're questioning if it will or will not be consistent with the academic integrity policy, one of the best things you could do is just ask your teacher. If you're questioning it, if you're doubting it, if you're wondering, talk to your teacher about it and see if you're making the right choice about the decision that you're making with regard to information, phones, plagiarism, etc. Okay? Good luck, guys.